Okay, we'll get started. Good morning, everybody. Hope you are well. Welcome to our Friday virtual coffee. Great to see a lot of familiar faces online this morning. Some old faces I haven't seen for a while, so welcome to all of you guys. And of course, we have a number of new agents and new faces today, so welcome to our virtual coffee. If you haven't been on for a while, or you haven't managed to see or come on our calls, then this is our time. Every week we get to meet and we get to chat about everything Medicare. This is our team meeting, everybody. So 9 o'clock every single Friday is the same link every week, so you do not need a brand new link. So that's good news, nice and easy for you to remember. And of course, we're at 9 o'clock every single week. We have on our panel today our usual suspects, obviously myself, Neil Booth, CEO of Medicare by AMA. We also have as well couple of our team members here. So Lisa Perry, our operations manager here, and Diane Leslie, who, as you know, is part of our engagement team here at AMA, and she's going to be helping a lot of you out, no doubt, over the coming weeks with our certification season coming up as well. And of course, anyone in our team is available here. So if you're new, you're not sure what's going on with your certifications, you're contracting, you have questions about portals, sign-ins, you name it, we are here to help. We also have on our call as well, we have Judy Daniels, Director of Sales for Berwick Insurance Group, our upline, and most of you obviously know Judy. Judy comes on our call every week. She does her little segment called Judy's Corner, and she gives you a lot of great information in the world of Medicare, as well as giving you an update from our friends and upline at Berwick and Integrity there. So Judy's on to answer more of a national basis. So between us, I think we cover most things. And again, this will be recorded. We did have a few of you request our recordings from last week. We had a glitch in our system, so unfortunately, we were unable to record last week's show. It is available to download as a PDF, so if you do want that, I can send you that through our OneFile, our shared file system here. So please reach out to myself or Lisa and we can get that forwarded to you. But again, apologies, I know a couple of you requested to be copied in on our video link, but we had a glitch in our system. It looks like it's recording and working today, so this will be available afterwards. And we're going to run through the agenda. So guys, if you have questions, please use the Q&A. That's where we're going to be looking at. That's where Lisa, Diane, myself, and Judy will be looking at the Q&A, the questions that you have about any of the topics today, or general questions that we can get answered either live or we can answer those via text. The chat box is for you guys to chat between each other as well. So of course, please engage with some of your colleagues. I see some good notes and friends coming back together on there. And that's what AMA is about. We want to have a place here where you all feel part of a team. That was what we set out to do, 7, 8 or so years ago when we started doing these calls. And of course, we will continue that as we grow. So those new agents, feel free to introduce yourselves. Come and say hi on the chat. I know there's a ton of folks on there that will be more than happy to engage with you as well. We've even got our resident jokester here, Mr. Richard Kenneth Manning, telling dad jokes, obviously on the chat there, as you can see. So welcome everybody today. Okay, so our agenda today, we're going to talk about AMA updates. Every week we talk about what AMA are doing, what we're trying to doing in the background to help you grow your business. That's what we're here about. I'm here. My job is to help you as agents and agencies grow your business, help you be successful, but also making sure you guys are compliant as well and able to do all the things that you want to do. So we're going to talk through all of those items. Also, we're going to talk through something new today, our agent benefits. Yes, we are going to be offering all of you the opportunity to actually sign up for some group benefits through AMA, even though you are 1099. So that's exciting. So we want to focus a little bit on that today. We're going to then hand over to Judy on Judy's Corner. Judy's going to talk about some updates, but also she is going to be sharing some information on Part B, B for boy, drugs versus Part D, D for drugs. So she can be sharing the differences and what those entail as well. Then we got our Nevada and California updates, and also you got updates for all of you agents. I know we have agents out there in Florida, in Texas, to name a few states. So please do not feel like you are not involved in this. We absolutely want to make sure we are catering for all of you agents out there on the line today. Okay, so let's get started without further ado, guys. Our weekly updates. So June's training, it's all about AHIP. It's all about certification. You do have to register beforehand. So we're going to talk through that process very, very shortly. We'll be sharing a link or two on the call as well. United Healthcare certifications. Yes, I spoke about it last week, but I want to make sure you guys know the importance of this as well. So those agents that sold 10 or more policies over the last 12 months, you are able to do that fast track certification already. And that certification was a lot quicker this year. I did mine in about an hour and a half. I know some of you did yours in around the same time. A lot easier than doing the 5 different modules. If you weren't able to get that shortened version, the fast track, then this Monday, the 12th, your certs are out, guys. You can do your United Healthcare certifications. You may ask, why should I do them before AHIP? Great question. A couple of reasons why. If you want to do that extended learning and you think you need to learn a little bit more, then maybe you should take that week next week to do that certification. Secondly, if you want to participate with any of our upcoming United Healthcare events for AEP, that includes meetings, community events, certifications, and more importantly, those kiosks that we are going to be working with. You have to have got that certification done, the United Healthcare one, by June 30th. So anything you're going to want to do with United, you've got to get that done by the 30th, guys. That's the cutoff. So that gives you that extra week as well. Okay, next on our agenda, the Pechanga Medicare Summit is one of the largest Medicare summits we have. It covers pretty much all of Southern California, but also there's some great information, general information for anyone in any other state, any other county. And the Pechanga Medicare Summit this year is on August 22nd to 25th. We are going to be offering pricing at $199, guys. It's an $80 discount. So we're giving you about 30 or 40% off the price of a ticket. Yes, those tickets have gone up. We understand that. But we are still going to be able to give you a discounted ticket. And part of our participation and our sponsorship is allowing us to do that discounted rate for you. So if you want to go, please do not sign up directly on the Okahu website. Please email Lisa Perry. Lisa's put her email in the chat box already. It's lisa@coveredama.com. Nice and easy to remember. Please email Lisa your name and your email. And of course, that you want to attend the event. Lisa then will send you the link so you can utilize and see all of the information, the agenda, et cetera, et cetera. Also, if you need to stay in a hotel, there is a group rate. Of course, we cannot obviously pay for your hotel, but there are a number of hotels nearby. So we'll give you a list of those hotels as well. Also, we will be doing on Monday, the 21st, we will be doing a GA meeting. So all of you GAs on the call today, we've already reached out to you. I know some of you already responded. Please respond if you want to participate in our GA meeting at that event. Also, we're looking at doing some kind of AMA event with all of our GAs and agents that will attend that event as well. So if you would like to attend, we'd love to see you there, and we'd love to get together with you. We're just going to be organizing a small little get together on one of the evenings, probably the Tuesday evening, the 22nd there. So there'll be a lot of fun stuff happening, but it's also some good learning opportunity and great for you to meet some of those carrier partners. Go out and meet some of those people that you may have spoken to over the phone and emailed. It's great for building relationships. And we know that this business is really important for building up those relationships as well. Just to let you know as well, in September, and I know this is a couple of months off, but we want to plan and look after the time we have over the next couple of months. So in September, I know Judy's got her Berwick Bonanza. We will probably be doing our very own little evening happy hour at that event as well this year. So we'll be looking into that as well. And of course, we want to see as many of you at that event as we can in September as well. Okay, let's move on. AHIP. Yes, we know June 21st, AHIP is coming out. We've got your back, guys. We've got you covered. We are going to be doing our boot camp. We'll be talking about that very, very soon. Training. There are a lot of some fantastic virtual in-person events. Last week, I'm not sure who went to the Humana training session that they had. They had their conference, Ascend conference last week. I was participating in some of those events. In fact, I was looking at some of the events that Humana had, particularly with things like veterans. Lots of great information. Would love to see if some of you were able to attend that event. Please just let us know in the chat. Some fantastic things out there as well, and they have prizes and all sorts of stuff. It was a really unique and great way to engage with all of you, no matter where you were situated and where you guys sell and live as well. And of course, you know, coming up, I'm now thinking not only about Q3 and Q4, but I am now planning those AEP meetings and events. If you want to participate yourselves in any meetings, this is the time you need to reach out to your carrier agent manager. For example, United Healthcare and Blue Shield are going to require your meeting dates before the end of this month, guys, before the end of June. So you are really going to want to start thinking about where and who you want to participate with. Build those relationships up. I'm meeting a ton of our carrier partners. So a lot of my time at the moment is meeting up with our carrier partners, the carrier and medical group partners. In fact, I've got 4 or 5 meetings next week already. And of course, I'm meeting up with a number of you guys. So if you want to talk about your business planning, speak to your GAs. First of all, if you don't have one, you're direct to me, speak to me. If you're new, reach out to one of our team. We've got a number of people here that are invested in your future, invested in your success. My goal this AEP is to make sure you are as successful as you want to be. And the reason I say you want to be, you've got to want to do this as well. You've got to want to grow your business as much or even as more as I do for you. So of course, we can be there. We can support. We can help you. We can help you plan. What we can't do is do it for you. So absolutely, we will put 100% in your future, guys and girls out there. You've got to want to do that as well. So please feel free to reach out to one of our team. We've got Lisa, we've got Diane, we've got myself here, we've got Richard Manning, who as a consultant and ambassador for AMA, he is out there building and growing our name, our relationship. And of course, he is going to be overseeing those kiosks and events that are happening. Just on that, we don't have an update on Walmart. I've been getting texts left, right, and center on what's happening with Walmart. Still don't know, guys. I'm not sure whether it's happening this year or not. I cannot even guess either way, to be perfectly honest. So I would have a plan B. If your plan A is Walmart, start thinking about your plan B, because you do not want to get into July without a plan B there as well. Okay, let's have a look at some of these questions here. Who can help me with an enrollment? Another enrollment keeps coming in after I submitted, which the person did not request. It's happened twice. in the month of May? Well, one of the things you've got to do with that is speak to your client. Your client is talking to somebody else. They have to be. They cannot be just enrolled without either their signature or their verification on the telephone. So you have to tell them, you have to tell your clients, do not talk to anybody with Medicare. Do not talk to anybody. If you are having the problem with the same carrier, speak to your carrier agent manager as well, or have your client put a complaint into CMS or the carrier. All they have to do is put a grievance into that carrier, and that carrier will have to look into that situation as well. But the first point of call is your client. They must have spoken to somebody. When is the Berwick Bonanza? I'm going to let Judy answer that on her section, because of course, this is going to be about Judy organizing and talking really about that. She puts a ton of effort in that as well, and she's going to answer that live when we get to her section. So thanks, Judy. Kroger is in the mix. Absolutely. We are working with a number of carriers for Kroger. For example, United Healthcare have already told me they're going to be working with Kroger. I know Anthem did as well. So we will absolutely be part of that program. What I would say, if you're interested, reach out to your team, reach out to some of those folks. I know United Healthcare are really going to focus on AMA in a number of counties for Kroger. So please, be patient there. But also, if you're interested in other carriers, we will absolutely be participating with that as well. Okay, we got to move on. Time is running through very quickly as ever. And I can talk forever. So let's move on to the AHIP Bootcamp. So this is the process. And I just want to run through this. We have almost 100 people registered for part 1. And I'm going to put the registration link for part 1 here in the chat box, so you can absolutely register. So what is part 1? Well, part 1 is your pre-AEP completion. This is on June 22nd. I think it's at 2 p.m. It's the day after AHIP. So this is where you're going to get hints and tips and how to pass AHIP the first time. We've got Judy on as a guest. She is going to give you that down and dirty, how to pass AHIP the first time with the updated 2024 information on. This is going to be an exclusive to AMA agents a whole week before Judy is going to do it for the rest of Berwick. Thank you so much. We love you, Judy. We appreciate getting you onto our call and having that real fantastic support we get from you. That's pre-AHIP completion. Then what you're going to want to do after the 22nd, you are going to want to complete those modules 1 through 5. That's going to include your practice test. Complete all of that over the next 4 or 5 days. Get it completed, download those modules. Then on June 26th at 10 a.m., we are going to be in Las Vegas at our Medicare Resource Center to complete that in person. We have about 30 people already registered online on Zoom, which will be optional. What I would say is if you live in Las Vegas, you are going to get a better experience in person for that event. So please register in person. You have to register for that, but you also have to have completed your modules. Please don't come onto that when your modules are completed, because you're not going to get a ton of stuff out of it. Then what we're going to do on the 29th, later on that week in LA, we're going to be at Mimi's Cafe, I believe on Feliz Boulevard. Probably pronounced that wrong, but we are absolutely going to be there. I think we're going to be there in the afternoon. I might have got that time wrong, guys, but we're going to be there on the 29th. In fact, I think we're at 10 o'clock on that. I need to double check. I think we're there in the morning, actually. We're going to be there on June 29th. And of course, if you are able to get there in your car, you're going to get a better experience in person. If not, join us via Zoom. We will send the same link out for either. So if you've signed up to Zoom, we will send you an invite individually out for that Zoom event, and you can join either one or both. Then you're going to get to complete your AHIP test, your exam. We cannot give you the answers, but absolutely what we can do, we can show you where to find them. We can have a copy of the downloaded information modules, etc., for you. That's the process this year. We have done it slightly different. We're hoping this is going to give you that added value. It's going to walk through that process. I know I spoke about it last week, guys, but please, this is going to be an important part. If you're not sure about AHIP or you want that support and help, this is what we're here to do. If you're new, we've done this every year for the last 5 or 6 years as well. So please reach out, come on to our boot camps, get involved with our community. Get involved with our team here. That's what we're trying to do with some of these events, bring you in. You can see how AMA works, particularly if you're new. And if you're not, we want to see you out there again in person. Okay, email Lisa. She will get you those registration links. I put part 1 on the chat. You should be able to see that now. And of course, part 2, I've sent a couple of emails out already. If you don't have that registration link, Lisa will have that. She'll get that sent out to you later today. She's going to be unavailable for a few hours today, I know. So please be patient today and we'll get that to you. Okay. This is the United Healthcare. If you have the opportunity on the left to do this fast track training, when you go onto your agent portal, so you go onto Jarvis, you click Learning Lab. If your Learning Lab looks like this, click that orange button, get your fast track done. It's going to take about 5 hours off the time for you to complete your United Healthcare certifications. It's always the longest. It always gives the most information. And we want to make sure we're here for you to support you. So please do that. If not, take the standard one, obviously on the right there. If you've sold more than 10, you will get the opportunity to do that fast track option. Tips on certifications. I put this up the other day. I just want to have this opportunity for you to read some of these on here. I'm going to keep this up throughout June, just as a slide here. And of course, I want to pick up just a couple of points here. Aim to get your certs done by the end of July. If you're still doing your certifications in September, guys, it means you're not going to be at the top of your game. You're not going to have planned your time really for AEP. Of course, if you're a presenter or you're doing events for United or other carriers, you're going to want to get those done by June 30th. And the last part I want to do this as well is your AEP plan should be built around your certifications and those activities. So as you're out and about, as you're engaging with your carriers, talk to them. What plans have you got for AEP? What help do you need? What can I do to help be an ambassador for you? You hear that a lot. You are an ambassador for every carrier you represent, because guess what? You are going to be the one bringing that book out and saying, right, this carrier is going to be in my top 2 or 3. And that's what all of the carriers are looking for. They have hundreds and hundreds of agents that they want to engage because they need us to sell their product. And of course, guess what? If you sell their product, they are going to notice that. They're going to give you more opportunities. They're going to give AMA more opportunities, and we can help you further grow your business to that extent that you want to grow. Okay, now we're going to move on to something new. Let's just check the Q&A here. Let's have a look. Will the pre-AEP training be recorded? Of course, absolutely. And by that time, we will have our new portal up and running. I am expecting it up and running in the next sort of, what are we, June 9th? Probably in the next 2 weeks or so. For sure, before the end of June, that portal will be up and running. We are literally in the stage where we're putting that together. I have seen a full run through of everything. It's looking fantastic. We are going to have our portal up and running with some really important stuff on there. However, we are going to be adding. It won't be the finished article, but I want to make sure you've got stuff on demand. It's going to have our last 6 weeks of our Friday coffees. It's going to have our training, monthly training, our quarterly training, and some other stuff on there as well. Okay, let's talk about benefits. So as you know, working with AMA, all of you, generally speaking, are 1099. You're 1099, you're independent, you work for yourselves. You are the CEO, the CFO. You're also the chief marketing officer, as well as the HR department for your own business, guys and girls. However, AMA is your back office support. We are your team with your cheerleaders. We are your support mechanism. We like to be there as your partners as well. Well, part of this, we want to be able to offer you some benefits that you may not be able to get. So these benefits are through our partners at Chubb and Combined Insurance. In fact, these are products that you are able to offer to groups as brokers. So you can get appointed as brokers for Chubb and Combined and sell some of these products. But also, we are giving you the opportunity to have these products for yourself. And I'm just going to give you a quick overview here as well. We are going to give you group pricing. So you are going to get these at a few dollars plus less per month for things like an accident plan. So what does an accident plan do? It pays you if you have an accident. I'll give you an example. One of our team in Las Vegas had an accident on their bicycle. They were riding on their bicycle with their dog, and they fell off their bike, hurt their shoulder, had to go to the ER, had to get some information, some tests done, x-rays, all of that. Guess what? They would have been able to get cash for some of those items. If you're in a car accident, you can get cash. Accident plans, critical illness plan. The critical illness plan is a triple-headed plan. So if you have a critical illness, for example, a stroke, God forbid, a heart attack, God forbid, or you have things like Alzheimer's and stuff like that, it covers some of those mental diseases, guys, and it pays out a lump sum. What I mean by triple-headed, it does 3. So if you happen to have Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and something else, it will pay more than once. We also have a disability product for you as well. And this is for agents in California and Nevada. If you're an agent in another state and you're interested, reach out. We can absolutely look at getting that as well. This is a group policy. That disability plan would pay if you're unable to work, short-term disability. So we are going to be able to have you get money to pay your rent, your mortgage, your car payment if you're unable to work. That's really unusual for somebody with a 1099 job. Some of these products are also going to be the products you can sell. So you're going to have that knowledge, that experience about these products, and then you can go and sell them as well to groups. We're also going to offer you a universal life product, a UL product, guaranteed issue. Yes, no underwriting. If we get 30 people on this product, it's going to be a guaranteed issue up to 25 grand. So if you want to take out a life insurance product on yourself up to $25,000, we can give that guaranteed issue. Pretty good, right? For a 1099 agent, that's not a W-2. We can get you a guaranteed issue product. If you want to get your own UL product, absolutely you can, up to $250,000 on yourself. That's got to be underwritten with a few questions, but it's pretty straightforward. We're going to offer you that as well. The accident policy is going to be starting, I believe, at about $19 a month. That's, I think, what we have. Great value. It's a lot less than you would pay for that type of policy directly through somebody else as an individual, or if you happen to have one through another group. It's an opportunity for you to get to know the products you might be selling and offering if you're contracted. We had about 40 agents on the call the other day that want to get contracted. If you missed that call, please reach out to Kirk. His email's at the bottom. Take a photo of this screen. Kirk is our go-to guy at Combined and Chubb. He knows everything there is to know about these products, whether you want the product for yourself or you want to sell this product. Email Kirk, get in touch with Kirk. This is open to all agents residing or selling in California and Nevada. If you are in another state, particularly I want to mention Florida and Texas, if you reach out and we have enough interest, we should be able to get these in other states as well. We are looking at doing some enrollment meetings for products that you want to get for yourselves the last week or weeks of June. We're going to do this both virtually and in person. The effective date we're going to start is we're going to be looking at July 1st. And of course, this is great to get covered if you can't work, particularly. So if you end up not being able to work for a month or a few weeks, et cetera, or a couple of months because you have an illness, and some of these include getting covered for items that you have pre-existing for. So for example, in the accident plan, it will pay some pre-existing year one. I believe the disability has a look back of 12 or 24 months. So again, you can have some pre-existing that can be paid later on as well. This gives you peace of mind for those medical expenses or just some of those things that you want covered. But the four main products we're going to offer: accident, critical illness, disability, and the UL, universal life as well. Wanted to just go through this. This is something brand new for AMA agents. It's something we're going to be able to offer all of our teams. And of course, any questions, reach out to Kirk, reach out to me. One of our GAs out there in Nevada as well is going to be supporting myself in helping get you guys trained, particularly on offering those products out as brokers and agents out there in your communities. But also, we spoke about 20% of the workforce of 20% of seniors were going to still be working past 65 come next year. 20%, that's a fifth. That's going to be, I believe, almost 30 million seniors. Huge numbers. So we want to be able to go into some of these smaller businesses, and this is where we see these businesses that have 1099 employees, that we know those seniors may not be covered, or it's a small group where actually, if they're under 20 employees, they should already have Medicare, and Medicare is always going to be the first payer. Maybe they don't have a Medicare Advantage plan. They're on the employer plan. They're having to pay a premium. The employer's paying a premium. The employee's paying the deductible. It's a ton of out-of-pocket costs. We can save those folks, those employees and employers money. This is a foot in the door. This is a foot to say, if you have seniors, I'd love to talk to you about how we believe we can help you with those employees. So this is a dual thing for me, not only about you offering those benefits out to some groups, but also getting your foot in the door for groups and getting that conversation going about Medicare, but also helping yourselves and having some of these products. So please take that photo for Kirk. Reach out to Kirk today, and of course we can give you the details about those events. We can just send you that information via email, and Kirk will be happy to do that. And then after that, we'll talk to you more about the enrollment meetings on here. Let's have a look if there are any questions. Can you please put Kirk's email in the chat? If somebody could do that for me, that would be great. If not, just take a photo and then you can put the email on there yourself. Premiums, we're going to talk about those premiums a little later on because they depend on age. They depend on non-smoker or tobacco users and non. And, you know, to be honest, it will just be a ton of information. So let's send it out to you. That will be the best way to do this. But of course, we want to make sure that we are supporting and helping you. Okay, any other questions? I don't think so. And of course, I'm going through the Q&A. Certification dates, okay. These are the ones we know so far. AHIP, June 21st. United is out Monday. Aetna is June 28th. Humana is June 26th. Anthem is June 28th. Scan Health Plan is coming out online on July the 11th. WellCare is coming out June 22nd. Blue Shield is going to be in July, and I put July because we don't know the dates. Blue Shield, Select Health, Alignment, and LA Care will be sometime in July. I don't know the dates yet. Once we get an update, I'm going to update this slide every week. You can also see this on your agent portal, in the Berwick agent portal there. They have some of this information. I think my information may be even more up to date here. But as that changes and I get information, we're going to add to this every single week. So take a photo of those. And of course, this will be available for you as well on that agent portal, on AMA's agent portal, once that's up and running. Okay, I'm going to give my little voice a break here, and I'm sure you are fed up of hearing from me. So I'm going to pass the baton over to our wonderful partner from Berwick Insurance Group, the Director of Sales for all of you guys. As you can see there, our Judy Daniels is probably had a couple of cups of coffee like myself already. Judy, welcome to the call this week. We're thrilled to have you on as ever.
Thank you, Neil, and welcome AMA agents and prospective agents. Always happy to be here on a Friday morning. And just really quick
Judy?
before I get started on
We hear you here.
Can you hear me?
Hello, Judy.
Can you hear me?
Oh, we can now. Welcome, Judy.
Okay, there you go. So before we get started on the Part B drugs versus Part D drugs, first of all, I always love talking with you guys on Friday mornings at the AMA virtual coffee chat. But I can also tell you that I wanted to make sure that you save the date, since Neil and a couple of you have already brought it up about the Berwick Bonanza. I'm going to be posting this in just a moment on the chat. But save the date in Southern California on September the 5th. It's either going to be Commerce or City of Industry. That'll be nailed down today, and then I'll have that information for you going out next Friday. Northern California, Ms. Kara Szyminski and other AMA agents up north, we will have our Berwick Bonanza for the very first time up there in Fremont on September 14th in Northern California. And then in Las Vegas, September 12th. So a couple of days before Northern California there.
Judy, I'm not sure if it's me or your sound, but you've cut out.
Here I am again. Sorry about that. So I do have you, here we go. I've got it in the chat now, so please do take a look at that. And I will look forward to seeing all of you at the Berwick Bonanza in your area. Now, let's go on to our Part B drugs versus Part D drugs. I've had a lot of questions about that in the past few months. It seems that there's a lot more cancer treatment that's being done. I don't know if that's just a coincidence or what have you, but it's been coming up quite a bit lately. So if you want to go to that next slide there, thank you so much. Just a reminder that drugs are covered under Part D if they're obtained through a pharmacy. Now, that would be true if it was a freestanding brick and mortar pharmacy like a Walgreens or Rite Aid or Kroger or something like that, or if it's through mail order. So the key here is if the client or the member is getting it from the actual pharmacy themselves, drugs are covered under Part D. Even if they're injectables, I've known some people to pick up their injectable medication from the pharmacy and then take it to their doctor to administer. Well, because they got it from the pharmacy, it's under Part D. And sometimes these medications can be very, very expensive. Now, if a drug is covered under Part B Medicare, it's because that drug is furnished by a physician or facility and administered as an injectable by that physician or facility. So keep in mind, if the physician can furnish that medication, and that member can call their doctor and say, hey, doc, do you cover this medication? Do you provide it? If you provide it, can you then give it to me there in the office? Because some of these are done on a monthly basis. Some are done every 6 months. Some are done on a weekly basis. But if that doctor can furnish the medication as an injectable and they also are going to administer it, in other words, give that injection or that IV or what have you, then that's covered under Part B Medicare drugs. And here's the key. There's a Part B drug list with procedure codes that are listed numerically by code. And the reason for that is because Part B medications have to be provided by the doctor or facility and also injected by that doctor or facility. So they're going to be billing for that. They're going to process a claim. So they're going to have to provide a procedure code for billing. And the doctor can provide that if you ask them. So be sure to have your client who's taking a really expensive injectable medication to ask their doctor if they can provide it and if they will also be able to do the injection. If that is true, then if the client has a Medicare supplement, either Plan F, Plan G, or Plan N, that medication would be covered 100%, assuming the Part B Medicare deductible has been met for the year. So that's going to be a huge help for someone on an expensive brand medication that's an injectable. I'll give you a big example that I personally helped someone with back when I was a broker. This woman was taking an autoimmune drug that was an injectable. She was picking up the medication herself at the pharmacy, and it was $3,500 for 5 vials. She then would take it to the doctor, and the doctor would inject her. Well, we called up her doctor, found out that he could take care of that for her. He can get the medication, and he would be giving it to her still in his office. So I put her on a Medicare supplement plan. She was turning 65. I put her on the Medicare supplement plan. And, she was so thankful. This saved this woman $3,500. It was amazing, the thankfulness that she had in helping her to save that money. So keep that in mind. That is a big part of things where you can help folks who are taking these expensive meds. What used to kill us doesn't kill us anymore, but that's because we've got these wonderful medications out there. However, on the flip side, they can be very, very expensive. Next slide, Neil. Okay, I wanted to again review, like Neil just did, where to find 2024 certification information for carriers and dates. If you go into the Berwick Agent Portal, right there on the landing page, first thing that you'll see there is the Berwick Bootcamp dates and registration. So you can click on that to get to any training that you want to take. But the 2024 plan and certification information has a tile there as well. As we get the first looks from these carriers, first looks is going to be the, expansion information. What new areas are they going to go into? You'll also find that they'll talk about or furnish slides about some of the overall benefits as they get into the month of July, for example. They'll start posting those first looks before they even do any presentations. So that's where you'll be able to find that in addition to the certification dates. Now, Neil has those certification dates based on what we furnished for them and some that has come to him directly. Even though I furnished them to Berwick as well, they may not all be posted just yet. So you're always getting the first information from Neil and AMA, and I'm so happy and proud that you all are partners with Berwick Insurance Group. So let's go on to the next slide if we can, Neil.
Yeah, hey Judy, before we do, I've got a question about the drugs here. Just to let you know, guys, questions put in the Q&A makes it a lot easier, and then we can decipher questions versus comments. But here I have a question. I've got a client and their doctor recommended an injectable he could do at the office, and it was very expensive. Doctor told him it would have to be approved by Medicare first. If it is not approved by Medicare, is this not covered?
Correct. So it is something where they do get verification or authorization, I should say, from Medicare. And if that Part B drug is on that list, that approved list, it will get covered. But if Medicare does reject it, then it won't be covered. And you'd have to get that taken care of by Medicare Part D. But if it's an injectable and it's on that list, it'll be covered.
Last question here, and then we'll move on, Judy. Does this work with Medicare Advantage plans?
Very good question. So Medicare Part B drugs, if it is, a covered medication, yes, it is absolutely true for Medicare Advantage as well. However, most Medicare Advantage plans have a copay or a coinsurance of 10%. There might be just a few plans out there where you'll see a 0%, but most of them are going to be 10%. A few may even be 20%, some areas of the country, for a co-insurance under Medicare Part B drugs for Medicare Advantage plans. So if you go into the summary of benefits for that Medicare Advantage plan, it'll tell you what that co-insurance would be. So, but it's still a great savings versus what they would pay at the pharmacy themselves under Part D. So I did see here, Neil, where Maria is asking where they can find that qualified Part B drug list. I will furnish that to Ms. Lisa so that she would have it available. I'll copy Neil and Diane and so on as well so that you guys would have it. But simply ask and we'll send that over to you.
Wonderful. And this will be one of the areas as well that we'll start uploading once we have our portal. So you'll have stuff there as well. And don't forget, if you are on a Medicare Advantage plan as well, once you reach the MOOP, because it's under Part B for boy, you will no longer pay for that drug, even though drugs aren't part of the MOOP if they're under Part B. So B for boy drugs, as soon as you hit that MOOP, and we got some very low MOOPs out there, you would pay 0 after that. Just wanted to add on to that.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. I did have another question here that popped up in the chat, Neil. It was an unrelated topic question, but they wanted to please advise what plan to enroll a person into that has Medicaid in another state, but moved to California permanently. Should I enroll the person into a Medicare Advantage plan, or would it be wise to enroll the person into a regular plan for temporary until the Medi-Cal approved or processed in California? The second question is, will this person receive a Part B premium bill during the transitioning period applying for Medi-Cal in California? So a very common question, but if somebody is coming from one state to another, yes, you do have to apply for the Medicaid in that particular state. It does not cross state lines. The Medicare Part B premium, if it's already coming out of their Social Security check or in a bill to their home in the mail, that doesn't change. That stays the same. Medicare Part B premium itself does not change, so that's going to remain the same. When you are getting them into a new state, though, I would definitely recommend, until they do get their Medicaid changed to that new state, to go ahead and put them into a regular Medicare Advantage plan, hopefully one that does not have a premium or has a very low premium, so at least they have some first dollar coverage. And then remember that if they do have any copays or anything, once they get that Medicaid in that new state, they will make it retroactive to 2 or 3 months. So if there has been any copays or co-insurances paid by that member, that would be reimbursed by that state Medicaid. Okay, next slide, Neil. Another reminder that we have our Berwick Bootcamp training for June posted on the Berwick Agent Portal. I really want to impress upon you 2 good trainings for you to concentrate on. One is going to be the Marketing Bootcamp. That's going to be on June 21st. That is the day that AHIP comes out, but I want you guys to try to attend that AEP Pre-Warming Your Market. It'll have a lot of really good information to help you get prepared for AEP, especially if you're a person who does presentations, sales meetings, kiosks, and so on. Again, passing the AHIP, you guys, because Neil asked me, are going to get this ahead of time. But for anybody who misses that with AMA, I am giving that on Wednesday, June the 28th at 9 a.m. for all people across the country for Berwick. I have about 205 people signed up for that already. And then another one, compliance, that's a Tuesday, but that compliance boot camp, how to avoid complaints, Part 1. This one is about doctors. The second part in July is going to be on drugs. And then the third part in August is going to be on dollars. So that's from our compliance director, and I'll be co-hosting that with her, by the way. So I wanted to let you know that about that as well. In regards to certifications, by the way, I really want to impress upon you guys that you've got some very knowledgeable people with AMA. If you don't pass the first time, whether it's AHIP or whether it's United Healthcare or Humana or what have you, if you don't pass the certification the first time, don't take it again immediately. Instead, call Neil, call Diane, call me. We would be happy to talk with you about it, because sometimes it's just where you've been rushing through. Sometimes it may be where you were sick and you just felt like, oh, I know this, I'm going to take it again. And the next thing you know, you failed it for a second time. Calling us will ensure that you slow down and that we help you identify what issue you may have had. Once you've failed it the second time, it just puts a little more pressure on us. It doesn't mean not to call us, but please don't take it a third time until you do reach out to us. Lastly, Neil, I just want to say in regards to Walmart, our director of compliance is in communication with the program every day for the Walmart kiosks. Keep in mind, though, you've got people like myself who are tasked with helping you be successful throughout the year, especially during AEP. So we are developing alternatives that you may want to take advantage of instead of the Walmart kiosks. And that's it for Judy's Corner today, Neil.
Okay, thanks, Judy. A lot of good information there as well, and some good questions that hopefully all of you were able to learn from. Thank you so much. Okay, we got 10 minutes left, just about. Let's run through some of these updates. Lots of things to go through today. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of training by our carrier partners. So I'm just giving you a heads up. If you haven't seen this or any of these trainings, then please reach out. We'll get you the links, etc., for you to be able to sign up. So first of all, United Healthcare in Nevada, they are doing some remote selling DSNP training, both in person at the Tenaya Way location, 13th and 20th, each of those Tuesdays. Please, again, if you want to learn more about UHC, then please go to those meetings. Humana is doing their Medicare supplement webinar as well. They are really focusing on things like advantages of MedSup, some insights and sales tips from top agents. And they also have an A to Z, or Z as I would say, of Medicare supplement sales, and really gives you a good guide on that as well. So just use some of these things in your tool belt. Aetna in Nevada as well. They are doing a CE. Yes, they're doing a CE class here in Centerwell, next to our resource center on Eastern. And that's going to be June 21st. And they will be providing lunch. Starts at 11 a.m., goes to 1:30. They're going to be giving a CE class on behalf of you guys. So if you want to participate, it's just across the street from our resource center there as well. In California, WellCare, they are doing a lot of different events for their 2023 benefits, as well as getting some kits, that type of thing. These are the dates for where all the training is. There's also training in a number of Northern California locations as well, but these are just some of the ones that have come through here. Wanted to show you that. And then also in June, we have from Anthem. If you are new, this might be worth going on. This is what they're calling their rookie boot camp. So anybody that is new to Medicare, these are some nice webinars that we can, send out to you guys. These are Anthems. They've got a run of 4 different webinars here, and these are for rookies or new agents. So these are some of the updates in all states here, and questions I've been asked this week about the Medicare Center. The Medicare Center has got live training every week. It's always remote because obviously they're catering for integrity for agents across the whole country. So as you can see here, overview training, the next one is June 27th. They did that last week as well. Scope of appointment training is coming up next week, and they've done a couple of the different trainings already. As you can see, call recording, PURL is in the personal website, and then the CSG, which is that ancillary and MedSup opportunity that you have as well. Also, I wanted to bring to everybody's attention here, alignment. So a couple of things with alignment before I go into the HRA. Alignment is growing their senior leadership. So you may have seen that Alignment actually have brought in from United Healthcare Todd Macaluso as their Chief Growth Officer. They've also brought in David Milligan, who after being at Scan spent a bit of time at Brand New Day, Bright Health, and has decided to jump over to Alignment now. And they've also brought somebody in from Florida Blue out there in on the East Coast as well. So they are adding to their senior leadership. That's Alignment, just to let you know. What they are doing as well, they are increasing their HRA incentive to $300. That's pretty incredible. So that's going to be the same as you get paid for moving somebody on DSNP to another plan. So that's pretty incredible. And the plans that you can do this on in Nevada is the one or the El Unico DSNP plan number 5, and also the Duals PPO DSNP plan, plan 1. In California, you've got the Cal Plus plus Veterans HMO, which is plan 36, the Cal Plus Duals DSNP plan 30, and the My Choice Cal Plus HMO plan 007, and that's for both full dual or LIS. So maybe take a photo of those if you're wanting to sell Alignment. They've got some great incentives at the moment. They are looking to really grow in the marketplace. As you can see, they're investing some money and time. Obviously, about a year ago, they floated on the stock exchange there, and really now they are looking to grow their business. And you've probably heard a lot of things on the web, particularly around some of these startups, some of these really investor-based carriers and startups for, you're seeing a ton of startups in the FMO space, et cetera, et cetera. And you're seeing that a lot of them are struggling. A lot of these companies are really struggling out there, Bright Health, et cetera. Alignment share price was struggling. It started to take a change. And of course, now Alignment are really investing in their future. So keep an eye out. Lots of things happening and changes. You may also have seen with WellCare, they have done some reorganization as well. In fact, you might have seen on the latest emails that Donna Niago is now going to be overseeing as a sales director both California and Nevada. So that's been some reorganization there in WellCare. Deanna, those folks that know her from Nevada know that she's been a great support mechanism there. Great person, really passionate around the broker community. She's going to be a great addition to California. And of course, she knows WellCare very well indeed as well. And then I know Sean Johnson has taken a role in the national level as well. So he's going to kind of be Deanna's boss there and continue that. So they have made some changes as well. And I see, if you just look at some of the emails that you're getting, you'll see some of the differences in their job titles and things like that. I know Hayley Castellano is going to still be around in California there for this as a sales manager, and then the agency manager position. You've got the same folks in most of the areas. You've got Mike there in Nevada, and of course the same teams really that is still going to be running those areas in both Northern, Central, and Southern California. So look out. This is the time of year you'll see some change of personnel. I just wanted to bring that to your attention there before we close out. Well, we are at 9:59. What I would say is this is the time of year. Keep your ears and eyes to the ground. Have a look at some of the things that are happening in our industry. The best place to get that information is right here every single Friday, 9 a.m. Please sign up to some of the training that's happening out there. Sign up in particular to the AMA AHIP training. Berwick's got some great training sessions in June as well. And of course, if you want to participate or you want to go to Pechanga, please reach out to Lisa at coveredama.com. Please do not sign up directly for that event. We want to make sure you get that discount. We're going to offer that discount. $80 discount is pretty significant. And that event will give you a lot of education, a lot of good information. Particularly, they normally have somebody from CMS talking as well. There's some good stuff out there, guys. So please make sure you're close to that as well. We are at 10 o'clock. Thank you for your lovely comments out there. We try and keep this professional. We try and keep it light. We try and keep you guys to time. It's exactly 10 a.m. here on June 9th. I will be out and about over the next week or so. Apologies if you try to reach out. I have been taking care of a family member who's been in hospital for the last couple of days or so. So I'm going to be helping recovery as well as still running and doing the stuff I do. So if I'm a little delayed, I do apologize. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I appreciate each and every one of you. I know you all have a choice out there who you partner with. I appreciate that you're partnering with AMA every day. I'm hoping you're getting that value out of AMA. If you're not, two things: reach out. Secondly, look at what you're doing. Look at your activities as well, because to get the full value out of what we provide and what our upline, including Judy and Berwick team and Integrity, you've got to look at yourselves, look at your activity, what you want to do and what you hope to get out of this industry and your career. We will match that for sure. Hope to speak to you all soon. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, guys.